Welcome. In today's video, we'll discuss the cue card, describe a book that you have read many times. Here's why you can't get your IELTS cue card answers correct. Number 1, you don't know the vocabulary. Number 2, you're not organizing the ideas the way you should be. And number 3, you might be rambling, going off point, things like that. But don't worry, for this specific cue card, I'm going to show you how you can make the answer and what the answer should sound like. And of course, you'll also learn about vocabulary. So without further ado, let's get started. So, the cue card that we'll discuss is describe a book that you've read multiple times. So, this is somewhat of a tricky cue card because you have to mention a book that you've read multiple times, and then how do you go about organizing the ideas? So how do you go about making a good answer? And this is what you have to do. First of all, introduce the book. That's the most important part. First of all, talk about what's the author of the book, and of course what's the title of the book. That's where you want to start. Okay? Of course, talk about or mention your personal connection and the attachment to the book. So that's where you should be starting. And another thing that you want to talk about is the plot and the character. So make sure you delve a little bit deeper into this part because you want to summarize what the plot of the book or the story is, as well as highlight any of the key and important events in the book, in the story. Talk about that. And of course, share your favorite, moments from the book. So that's important as well. So that's, some ideas that you can use to generate, when you speak about this. Another important aspect of this answer is, you have to mention what the theme is and of course, what the message is there in the book, okay, in the story. Shed some light on the underlying theme and messages that are conveyed in the book. That is essential. And explain, why these themes are significant, what they mean to you, or what they could mean to the broader society in general. So, some things you kind of mention there as well. And of course, share specific quotes if you remember that, if you have good memory. Of course, this will help you. And, next thing that you certainly should mention in your answer is the personal impact that the book has had on you. Some things to reflect upon is how did this book, impact you? What made you read this book multiple times? And of course, why it holds a special place in your heart. So, some things to consider there as well. And finally, give a conclusion. That is essential, okay? So basically, in the conclusion, what you want to do is just summarize their entire answer, hit on the main key points, and of course, encourage, or maybe recommend the book to the examiner. Just tell them why you think it's a great book and they should read it. Boom, there you go. So those are the 5 things that you can basically mention in your answer and make a great answer. So now, let's check what my answer sounds like. This is what my introduction is going to be like. The book that I have read many times and holds a special place in my heart is The Unfettered Mind by Takuan Soho. This profound work of Japanese philosophy and martial arts has become an indispensable part of my literary collection. Its wisdom and timeless teachings have had a profound impact on my life, and I find myself returning to its pages time and time again. So that is my introduction. I have highlighted some important vocabulary for you here. First of all, look at this phrase, special place in my heart. You use that to talk or to mention a book or, a book here that is close to you or, you like a lot. So that is how you can go about it. And of course, I mentioned the book, The Unfredded Mind. That's the title of the book. And Takuan Soho, he is the author of the book. So, give that information so that, you hit task achievement. Next, look at profound work. A profound work is something that's very deep and has a great amount of impact on someone or, people in general. Look at the word indispensable. Indispensable means something that is very important, hard to replace, and nothing quite, makes a difference like it does. So that's what I used. And I mentioned literary collection. So instead of saying my collection of books, I said literary collection. That's what it means, collection of books. Another thing you want to think about is like how you can mention saying that you read the book multiple times. So you can say returning to its pages time and time again. So this section here, that's a good way to say that you read the book over and over again. Now let's move forward. The Unfettered Mind is a philosophical masterpiece written by Takuan Soho, a Zen Buddhist monk and a renowned calligrapher from the 17th century Japan. The book explores the relationship between the mind and martial arts, offering profound insights into the human nature, personal growth, and the pursuit of excellence. So now, here in this bit, I'm giving a little bit of a more background to the book, who the author is, and why they wrote that. And of course, look at the words. Renowned. That's basically a word you can use for someone who is famous. So you can say he's a very renowned calligrapher, a renowned artist, rather than saying famous. So that's, a good synonym to keep in mind. Let's move forward. The book doesn't follow a traditional narrative structure, but is instead a collection of letters and writings. It delves into the profound teachings of Zen Buddhism and offers guidance on cultivating a clear and focused mind. The characters in the book are depicted metaphorically, representing various aspects of the human mind and its potential for growth and self-mastery. Here, the key important vocabulary you want to keep in mind: traditional narrative. Look at this entire sentence. This is basically a comparative, right? The book doesn't follow a traditional narrative structure, but is instead a collection of letters and writings. So I used the word instead and compared, traditional narratives against the book that is there. Let's move forward. The Unfettered Mind delves into these themes of mindfulness, discipline, and nature of reality. It emphasizes the importance of remaining present in the moment and breaking free from the limitations of the ego. Takuan Soho's writings challenge readers to question their preconceptions and to let go of attachments that hinder personal growth. Okay, key vocabulary, look at the word emphasizes. That's a good word. Use it in your answers because, it just changes the tone of the answer altogether. Another word, preconceptions. It's basically preconceptions is the kind of ideas that we have in our mind or the way our thoughts are. It's like in there automatically without us thinking about anything. Now let's move forward. This book has had a profound impact on my life. Its teachings have guided me in developing a more disciplined and focused mind. By embracing the concepts of non-attachment and mindfulness, I have learned to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. The book has taught me the importance of self-reflection and the power of inner transformation. Some good vocabulary here for you, okay? Think about, you can use the word profound with impact. That means a deep, meaningful impact, okay? And of course, you can also, when you are adopting to something, you can say embracing. That's another good word to use. So by embracing the concepts, that's that line here, this phrase, that is good to use. Now let's move forward. In conclusion, The Unfettered Mind by Takuan Soho is a book that has a profound impact on my life. Its teachings of mindfulness, discipline, and personal growth have shaped my perspective and influenced my actions. I find solace and inspiration within its pages and continue to revisit its timeless wisdom. I'm grateful to have encountered this literary gem and to have been touched by the profound teachings it impacts. So there you go. Of course, when you're concluding something, just say in conclusion. That means it's the starting of the conclusion. So, the person listening to your answer, they get sense of it like, okay, it's coming to an end. So there you go. That's pretty much it. That's the answer. Simple as that. So, if you are somewhat struggling with this answer, just remember, there's just 5 things that you have to do. Introduce the book, plot and characters, talk about those, themes and messages, personal impact, and conclusion. There you go, simple as that. So I hope you find this answer useful. I hope you learned some new words today. And if you have any friends who are struggling with this, share this video with them so that they can learn something new today as well. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be adding more valuable information like this today. Hope you liked it. See you in the next video.